Hello and welcome back to Let's Do More Good, where we focus on having a positive impact on the world around us. So today we're in the kitchen. We got something fun going on. We're actually having some folks over tomorrow, a little food, a little fellowship. We're gonna have a good time. And we're cooking this amazing meal. It's brisket birria tacos. This is a type of Mexican taco, a little bit different than your standard taco that you would pick up at a regular restaurant or taqueria or something like that. So it looks complicated, but it's really pretty simple, even though it takes 2 days to make. And here's some of the ingredients we'll be working with today. We got some Roma tomatoes, a couple of pounds of those, several different types of chilies. We got some ancho chilies, some guajillo chilies, and some arbol chilies. And then we got a whole yellow onion and a whole head of garlic here. Okay, we're gonna put a little oil in our pan. Let that heat for just a moment. And again, like the onions, these do not have to be chopped up in small pieces. So just chop them up a couple of times. They don't even all have to be regular. We're going to cook them all, and eventually we're going to blend them all down. So we're peeling all this garlic, and if you've ever peeled garlic, you know it can be a hassle. And so here's just a regular garlic clove, and peeling that is just a pain. But if you take it like this, just a little hit with a knife, it just kind of pops that outer kind of wrapping there, and it just comes out so much easier, much simpler. Little pro tip, but not from a pro. Okay, next we're gonna take our mortar pestle and make a paste out of these garlic cloves. Just kind of crush them down. And after a few minutes, it looks like this. Okay, now let's put our tomatoes in with our onions. And just start letting that start to cook down a little bit. Now it's time to start working with these chilies, and some people take these out, some people don't. I like to take them out. I don't know, just the idea of still having the stems in there. Just kind of open them up, pull it out. I'm gonna start just putting these in here and just kind of waking them up a little bit. You don't really want to burn them or roast them or toast them too much. Just starting to rehydrate and enhancing the flavor profile. Okay, now we are just going to take these chilies and just kind of put them right in here. Okay, let's take that garlic and just kind of put it right there on top. And then we're going to take a good bit of salt. Some oregano, and some Bragg's apple cider vinegar. Just kind of start stirring it all in.
smells are amazing. The worst part about this taking 2 days to cook is it smells so good, but you can't eat it for a whole day. Let's put a lid on that and let that simmer and fall in love, as they say. So this has been cooking down for a little bit. And we are just going to take all of this and just start putting it in the blender.
Okay, now let's talk about the meat. So we actually get our meat from a local rancher, and he works with an area butcher and gets it processed. And when you do it that way, not only do you support local, but you also know where the food came from, where the meat came from, and you can get it any way that you want it, any type of cut or however you want it. Generally, it's more upfront cost, but honestly, in the end, you get really good quality meat, and it comes out being cheaper than what you would pay at the store. So that's what we got here. So I grabbed this is half of a brisket, the point side of a brisket. So a pretty large chunk of meat. And I got that out of the freezer and I said, you know what, let me add a few things to it just in case. So here's a few beef ribs just to make sure. And then I saw these shanks. So this is a shank, which is, part of the leg, and some really good meat around there. And I just said, I'm gonna throw it in there with the bone. And you see that bone marrow? That's gonna add some really good flavor to the sauce as well. So we're just gonna take this stuff, just throw it in a big pan. And take these ribs, just gonna throw that in a big pan. Now this brisket, I'm gonna do a little bit of work on. I need to cut it up in smaller pieces for several reasons. One, it's gonna cook a lot faster. It's gonna fit in the pan better, but it's also gonna give more surface area for all of this fat. And we want a good bit of this fat, not all of it. I'm about to trim this just a tad, but we'll do more. We'll pull the fat off of this once we're done cooking it, and then we'll use some of that later on in the video. And this is a nice organic, grass-fed, grain-finished beef, and young steer as well. So, some people are like, don't do grain-finished, do grass-finished, and they're like, grass-finished is so much healthier than grain-finished, and I'm like, it may be, but apples are more healthy than donuts, but donuts are delicious. So grass-fed may be more healthy, but man, grain-finished is delicious. Okay, we got all this meat in a big pot. We're just gonna pour this delicious potion right over top. Okay, get some water. We're just gonna that is deliciousness right there. Okay, let's put this on the stove and let this cook for a few hours, probably about 3 hours or so. Okay, one thing we didn't add earlier was a little cumin, so we're gonna add some cumin. Here we go. This has been simmering for several hours now, so we're just going to start taking this off. Okay, so here we go. We've got all the meat pulled out and set to the side. We're gonna let that start to cool off. Once it's cooled off enough, we'll start pulling these little bone fragments and things out. We'll trash those. We'll clean up some of the excess fat, and then we'll really start to chop that up and get ready to just kind of set that aside for the night. Next, we have all of this lovely juice. So all of the chilies and all the spices and everything that we put in there, and then plus a lot of that fat that rendered out, it's coming to the top. We're gonna take that and we're going to strain it. So. Okay, we got all of this strained. We're gonna take this and put it in the fridge, and what is gonna happen is all of that fat that we rendered out and cooked down is gonna rise to the top, and then it's gonna solidify in the fridge. And then tomorrow, we'll take all of that off and we'll just be left with a real clean consommé. Okay, and you know, anytime we cook something with a bone in it, we always try to make the dog happy that she's a part of our family. So these are great little bits and some nice little shank bone, some nice rib bones, and things that will keep our dog happy for a while. She knows what's going on. She knows what's coming. Hey, welcome back. So day 2 of our brisket birria tacos, and got a good night's rest and ready to eat. So we're gonna start. We've just pulled this consommé out of the fridge, and as you can tell, all of that fat that was rendered moved up to the top. So what we want to do is we're actually gonna break through this, and that's a pretty thick layer. There you go. So we're gonna break through that. We're gonna grab it, and then we're just gonna start. Look how thick that is. And we're gonna start putting it in this bowl here. A lot of flavor is what that is. Don't you wish it was this easy to lose weight? Just grab the fat and pull it off. Perfect. And now you can see down in there, almost all that fat is gone. So that's some really good sauce there, consommé, that we will use later when we're actually eating our tacos. We'll warm that up and use that as a dip. Sorry, I can't wait. I gotta get me a little sample here. That is so good. So rich, so flavorful, and it's cold. It's gonna be amazing once it's warmed up and put on some tacos. So now we're gonna start taking this meat, and see these big old chunks of fat. We're gonna take our knife and kind of cut those off, trash those, and then once we've cleaned this up and got rid of all that excess fat, we're going to chop this up. This is Emma's favorite part.
High five. Shake. Wait.
But when you tell her to wait,
Wait.
she's like, I want it so bad.
Wait.
She's like licking her lips like, oh, but I can't look, I can't look.
Wait.
She's like, oh no.
Okay, go get it.
Good girl, Emma.
Okay, stay. Stay. Don't get it. Stay there, okay? Stay.
Okay, let's walk away and let's see if she'll just be obedient and just not mess with it.
No, Emma, stay.
Okay, stay, Emma.
Stay.
Good girl, Emma. Good girl. That is amazing. She's like, I can't touch it. They told me not to.
Okay, we threw some corn tortillas down on this griddle, then we put down some white American cheese and then a little bit of our meat down. And then we're gonna, once these start crisping up, we're gonna fold this over and it'll keep crisping up. And then we're going to add a little bit of that fat that we rendered down. And it's gonna add some incredible flavor and some great color. Okay, so here we go. We got our brisket birria tacos. We got some Spanish fried rice, compliments of my wife, and cilantro fried rice, or cilantro rice, and then some refried beans, also compliments of my wife. So here's that consommé that we cooked down, took the fat off, and now it's just kind of all of that flavor without so much of the fat. So let's go in for a little taste test. That's amazing. That is amazing. Crispy taco, the meat, the cheese, the sauce. Ay, me gusta. Wow. That's good. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll catch you next time on Let's Do More Good.